Hello, 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 everybody. I'm Frank.
And I'm Mark.
And you're watching Videoland Express celebrating 26 years on the air this month, believe it or not. Where did the time go? I have no idea. But I want to say right at the top of the show, thank you, everybody, for supporting the show, for watching the show. We got 3 shows this month in July, and we're going to have 2 more in August. And I believe we should have 2 more in September. And I think we're going to have October. But everybody knows by now, November, December comes along, and I vamoose out of here. Okay, with that being said, that's why we have that poster behind us. Rogue One was premiered in the trailer, that is, was premiered in London. They had a big London convention, Star Wars convention. And by coincidence, we're not going to be here in December when the movie comes out. But they had the big convention in London, and they premiered the new poster. I'm sorry, but that looks like a scene right out of Gilligan's Island. I had to say it. But anyway, we're going to get more into that. Okay, and Mark is going to have a review on Ghostbusters. Okay, I finally caught up to Tarzan and BFG. Actually, I was dragged. But besides celebrating 26 years in the year, I've been talking something about this music thing. In the last episode, I said I might give you another hint. Well, here it is, folks. Official website. It's a spin-off from Videoland Express. That's it. That's the FURANKSIAN website. FURANKSIAN is a variation of Japanese pronunciation of Frankie. In Japanese, they don't pronounce it Frankie. They pronounce it FURANKSIAN. That's an actual pronunciation. When you write it out, that's how it's pronounced in Japanese. But anyway, for my love of Japanese anime and Godzilla, let's take a little quick tour. Basically, you go to the home page, you'll see my old trusty piano. That's about should be home. Yeah, that piano's been with me for 50 years. Actually, it's about 80 years old. That's why I do a lot of my compositions. The next page would be right, Videoland Express is a spin-off, of course, and there's a link for SoundCloud. As a matter of fact, if you go to SoundCloud, I added 2 new tidbits. The site is in better form. I was going to premiere this in September. My partners from Steve in Brooklyn said, let's try to push this up a little bit further. You've been dragging your feet too long. So that's why the website is still in better form. It's going to be like this for about another month, then we're going to start expanding. But if you go to SoundCloud account, you will see a lot of bits and pieces. It's more like a teaser trailer, you could say. That is the SoundCloud account. Okay, as a matter of fact, I think you go up to the top, you will see another logo. Yes, that is me as a Japanese little cartoon, believe it or not. That's another project we're working on, but I'll be talking more about that in the next show. So you have the 2 logos, me as a Japanese character, and the famous eye. And the next page, let's do this real quick. That's another keyboard we use, and you see the programs that I'm working on. We're working with Pro Tools, Reason, Mixcraft, and Analog 1 and 2. Those programs, the analog programs, you get 5,000 5,000 different sounds for about $99, believe it or not. You got to go to Arturia.com for that information. I'll be mentioning a lot more about this on the radio show, and I think one more link, I think that should do it. That's the famous eye. Get to know that eye, folks. Okay, you're going to be seeing a lot more of that. As a matter of fact, if you go to my different websites on Twitter, Instagram, those are the buttons, those are links. Just click on that, you'll see what I mean. And especially on Google, I'm very, very well known by that logo on Google Plus. And talk about Google Plus next week. Well, actually, the next show in 2 weeks, I'll be talking more about Godzilla. Godzilla is going to premiere at the end of July. I'll be talking more about that community website. Okay, let's get into the show now. Thank you for watching that. So, salute to all the fans out there for 26 years supporting us. Really appreciate it. And of course, you know, we have Videoland Express website, the blog, and that blog has the widget for our radio show. And what's the last thing? And of course, YouTube, which Mark likes to say.
Yes, please watch, subscribe, and hit the like button. Because we need as many views as we can. But oh, please, please. Because we know on YouTube there's a lot of people who get a lot of views. It's because they have big machines behind them that push them up. They get to the top of the recent bars and trending bars because, you know, they have these big machine companies behind them. So, you know, we're like a starter mom and pop shop. So please come by the shop, subscribe, like, and
yeah,
enjoy.
don't forget, this is really fan based. Even though I work as a background actor in TV shows, like the last show I did was Blue Bloods. Danny Wahlberg is a great guy. I worked in Shades of Blue. I met Jennifer Lopez and Ray Liotta. Ray Liotta is known to be a grumpy guy, yes, but he's still cool. But Jennifer Lopez she was a real sweetheart. We did a scene at Southway Seaport, and by union regulation, the main actors and the background actors are not allowed to talk to each other. It's something out of our hands, okay? But we had a break, and a bunch of fans showed up, and they went right up to Jennifer Lopez, and she signed autographs. She took selfies, and meantime, my bodyguards, Miss Lopez, you got to get in this van. We only have a half-hour break. It was a dinner break. And she said, "Okay, guys, hold on. Let me take these pictures." And she was really sweet about that. Usually you don't get to see that. You always hear negative things about people, but she stopped in the ground and she signed this autograph and took the selfies. I'll be talking more of that about our radio show. The widget is located on our black page. Okay, let's keep on going forward. One last thing, the way we started this show, and this is how far advanced. We only had one camera. Half a board, half a desk or so, and we didn't have no graphics. And I found this sign. I've been finding a lot of things in the boxes, and I found this sign. This is the way we had the sign. It was by stencil, color. We used to take phone calls. We don't take any phone calls anymore because they reconfigured this whole studio for high definition. But yeah, this is the way we used to do it. A little cardboard sign, and that's the way we did it. But now, with that being said, let me do the box office real quick, and then Mark is going to go with the reviews. Actually, let's do the Ghostbusters reviews. Then we cover the box office, because when we cover the box office top 10, I'll do the reviews of Tarzan and BFG.
Oh, wonderful.
But
great.
Now,
so
Ghostbusters, how was it? Do you recommend after the show people should run out and see the new Ghostbusters?
Well, I don't want to say too much disparaging things about Ghostbusters, because I know they have a lot of power behind them, and if you even step out of line to say anything negative about you, I don't know, Sony will come down on you with all its fury and its hammer. So I'm going to keep it as honest as I can without too much of my own expression or my own feelings behind it. So this is the way it goes.
Okay.
All right. Ghostbusters, very well made. I thought the CGI was going to be horrible because you see the trailers, but the CGI was fine. There wasn't a problem with it. The story, it flowed. It didn't drag on. It flowed well. There was no lag time. The actresses, yeah, they tried to one-up each other, try to be funny, but that's the new route they're taking. They weren't too bawdy. In other words, they didn't do a lot of cursing. It was clean, clean comedy, clean humor, almost at a level of PG humor. I'm not even sure if Ghostbusters, the first one, was R-rated or not.
No, it was PG-13 though.
Wow. Oh yeah.
PG-13.
Yeah, because there was a lot of activities on the first Ghostbusters. It got to a level where Sigourney Weaver was possessed, and she takes Bill Murray to the bed and all this stuff. Yeah. They didn't do too much of that, because it's for the kids. They're cleaning it up. The humor wasn't as stag humor like in the first Ghostbusters, where they would talk about male members and attack people and really ratchet up the level. No, they were clean. They were kind of respectful. A lot more slapstick humor. Slapstick humor. So I think the family will enjoy it. This becomes more a family event. But like I said, for you and me, Frankie, it's a no-go. Okay. I would say, no, really. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see it. It's not for us anymore. It's for the kids. It's for the family. They'll enjoy it. They have a nice, clean image to it, because it's Sony. They probably want to take it to another level. They want to continue other probably Ghostbusters franchise or movies and play it more for the kids and the family and make it clean. Well, as far as the news behind that, Sony already said, we're going to make a franchise out of this. We're going to have more Ghostbusters movies. The old 4 girls been signed on because they know Sony tanked
with Fantastic Four. X-Men already gone for the top 10. It didn't clear 600 million worldwide, which it should have. The last film did, and of course, they're now looking forward to Wolverine. Already, there's mixed feelings about that movie, considering the last two sucked. Okay, here's my two questions.
Yes.
Three questions. Now, was it better than the sequel of Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters #2, when they came out with the Statue of Liberty walking? Instead of Stay Puft Man, it was Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, they said that was a problem with Ghostbusters 2. I think they went to a whole different direction. It was sort of like, it was weird, and this Ghostbusters was a little weird too. It was sort of weird in that sense. The second Ghostbusters, it was weird in the sense that they were trying to one-up each other also.
Okay.
So they were trying to showboat, one-up each other, try to go more with the CGI or more with the computer graphics, and less about the stories, less about being taken seriously and sort of doing it tongue-in-cheek.
Now, were the girls funny? That's why I backed them up. My complaint with Grown-Ups, they had like 6 top comedic actors, and Grown-Ups #2, I only left once. With the 4 girls over here, 4 women, what's her name, Leslie. When she goes on the talk shows with the other girls, she's a writer and she's hysterical, and she always one-up all the other girls when they go to the talk shows. They were on Ellen, and she turned out to be the funniest one. Were the girls funny in this movie?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I didn't find it too funny. I didn't find it too funny because I'm of a different generation. When the first Ghostbusters came out, it was in '85. Well, in '82, '83.
Yeah, but these are the girls from Saturday Night Live. These are 4 top comedians.
Remember, Saturday Night Live changed. I remember who the heck was saying it, but they said that, I think it was Norm Macdonald who said, yeah, Saturday Night Live has changed. It's not about trying to be funny anymore. It's about singing and throwing out songs and being funny ridiculous, not funny ha-ha. And that's why Norm Macdonald, they hated him, because he was trying to be irreverent. And they said, no, we're not like that anymore. We're trying to be family friendly. It's trying to be more about being funny and whimsical and making strange faces and singing. And Norm Macdonald, he would basically say, this is what Saturday Night Live's turned into. It sort of turned into like a comedy vaudeville clean up act.
They're playing it safe. I mean, I remember Norm Macdonald. I love when he did the Burt Reynolds on the Jeopardy.
Yeah.
And then of course he played what's the cat? He played Death on Family Guy.
Oh,
that was funny. Okay,
yeah,
he was one of the funny guys, and
they kicked him off because they said
threw him off. Yeah,
he says, yeah, you're not with the rest of the show. You're stuck in a different era where you think to be funny you have to be irreverent, but no, we want a different type of funny, and that's what Ghostbusters was. It's a different type of funny for the family.
Okay, now
a lot of toilet humor and less stag humor.
Okay. Last question.
Yes.
How were the cameos by the original cast?
Yeah, the original cast shows up.
Spoiler alert.
Yes.
Because I want to know.
I'm spoiling. We're spoiling this.
My fault. Spoiler. I want to know.
Okay. So you have the people who show up are Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and I forgot the last.
Ernie Hudson.
Ernie Hudson. Yes, they all show up.
How was Bill Murray's cameo?
Yeah, Bill Murray's cameo was interesting. He wasn't bawdy at all. He was very clean, very sort of respectful. It sort of was funny just to see him in it, but it wasn't like he was saying anything too funny. He was sort of like the naysayer in it.
That means it was basically a waste of time.
Well, they wanted to put him in there. Same thing with Dan Aykroyd. Dan Aykroyd makes a scene where if you don't realize that's Dan Aykroyd, you might say, oh, wait, that's Dan Aykroyd, because he plays a cabbie. I'm sorry, more spoilers.
That's in one of the trailers, believe it or not. That one I did see, where he says, oh, that's ectoplasm, big deal.
Yeah, he says, I'm not afraid of no ghost.
Yeah.
And then that's his big homage to the song, and then he drives off. And then Ernie Hudson does a cameo at the end, and in the end of the movie they said, oh, this is to pay tribute to Hal Ramis.
Oh, right, because he passed away, right.
He couldn't make a
it's Sigourney, what'd she do?
Oh, yes, Sigourney Weaver also shows up. She shows up. You have to stay to the very end to see her pop up.
See, that's why we're having these spoilers. That means if people see the credits and they start walking out, then she shows up?
Yes.
That's a ripoff.
I had to, I'm sorry, I had to go to the restroom. So I make a beeline to the restroom. I'm sorry to say this. I do whatever I have to do. I come back. The credits are still going. I sit back down, and at the end of the credits, Sigourney shows up, and spoiler again, she shows up like you know, as a scientist who was the professor of the new scientists. I forgot what her name is. She's the one who comes up with all the weird inventions.
Oh yeah, what she's sort of from SNL too.
Yes.
Oh, she does Hillary.
Yes.
Right. I like her. She's cute.
Yeah. She plays her professor, and you know, they sort of like say, "Oh, you don't need these safety devices. That's for men." Ha 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 ha.
Oh, what a waste! Wow. See, now that's why we have these spoiler alerts. You would have seen the movie and saying, "Oh, what's Sigourney Weaver?" And she's at the end credits. They pull a Marvel on you.
Yes, they pulled a Marvel. And another spoiler. I'm sorry to do this. They set it up for the next movie.
Well, that's kind of obvious. Yeah.
They all of a sudden they say on the chatter or one of the tapes that they have, the ghost is Zool or something. They hear Zool on one of the tapes or something. Oh, who's Zool? Well, they're setting up for the next movie.
Actually, that's been mentioned already in Variety magazine and Hollywood Reporter, which I take various articles from different magazine sources and I put it on my blog. And that was one of the things that was mentioned right at the beginning of one of the articles in Variety magazine, that Zool does make a cameo at the very end of the movie. Even the magazine said
he doesn't make a cameo, but they mention his name.
They mention his name. Okay.
And Chris Evans was in it. I'm not Chris Evans. The one who played Thor. I forgot.
There's two brothers.
Well, the one who played Thor.
Okay, and because the other one plays Kirk's father in Star Trek Beyond.
Right, it's not him.
Okay, because Kirk's father is going to be coming back for number 3, believe it or not. Oh, excuse me, Star Trek Beyond. Kirk has his father issues. They reference him, but apparently they're talking either Hemsworth's brother. Hogo's Captain Kirk's father is going to be in the new Star Trek number 4. Already, all the main characters have been signed up. There's getting a lot of good reviews for Star Trek Beyond that Kirk's father actually makes a comeback. Something about the Kelvin timeline. They call it the spaceship that Captain Kirk's father dies. It was called the USS Melvin, and they call it the Melvin timeline because the Roman spaceship that came from another timeline changed this whole timeline. Blah blah blah. That's why we got a new generation of Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. But anyway, so the rumor is one of the Hemsworth is coming back for Star Trek number 4. Number 3 hasn't even come out yet. There's a lot of good reviews. Okay, let me catch up with 2 old reviews. Because you passed these films, I got dragged by my next door neighbor, but that's another story. So, the BFG, the big friggin' giant, okay?
Friendly.
Friggin' giant, okay. Way too long. This is by Ronald Dahl. He wrote Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Just your imagination. Love that movie. The original one with Gene Wilder. That's the one that had the songs. Not the one with Johnny Depp, Tim Burton. That really sucked. But anyway, the problem with Big FG is a great short little story for the Disney Channel. Not 2 hours long, and where it just drags, and you don't see enough of the other giants. It's basically the story about him and the little girl. Special effects are great. Live action with CG, giants, animation, fantastic effects, the music score. Spielberg does his old-fashioned storytelling like he used to do back in the 80s. The problem with the picture, it shouldn't have been 2 hours. It just dragged down too long. If it was like 45 minutes or an hour, like a 1 hour children's special for Netflix, it would have worked out wonderful. Okay, way too long. I said it in the last show. I keep forgetting the name. I don't have my glasses on. Melissa Matheson, who wrote, of course, E.T. Great picture, right? She wrote this before she passed on. Okay, so she wrote it for Steven Spielberg. She did a good job writing it, but a lot of it was just filler, wasn't necessary. Tarzan, special effects were good. I love when the animals attacked at the end. The problem with the picture is flashbacks. It starts with Tarzan coming back from the jungle. He grew up to be Tarzan, as you know, with cheetah and the monkeys and the animals, right? He already, the movie starts, he's come back from the jungle. He's back at the mansion, the manor in England, and he's well established and stuff like that. He's a grown gentleman now. What's his name? Who did Highlander? What was his name? Who did the Highlander?
Christopher Greystoke.
Greystoke, right? Who's the actor's name? Christopher Lambert.
Lambert, yeah.
Okay. Braystroke was the better picture. Let me put it that way, okay? So he's grown up and everything like that, and these guys are messing around with the jungles, played by Christopher Wise, playing the bad villain. Kidnaps Jane, and of course Tarzan said, "Okay, it's time for me to go back to the jungle." And the movie wraps up where the animals attack the bad guys. Okay, the problem with the movie is they have to tell the whole story using flashbacks. Here, and you saw it in the trailer. Here's the monkey mama looking at the little baby human. Okay, let's flashback. Here's the big gorilla fighting and training Tarzan. Let's have another flashback. Let's have another flashback. Let's have another flashback. Took me right out of the movie, and the flashbacks were annoying. I hate flashbacks. The only time a movie should use a flashback is as exposition. You need to explain about a character's past. Okay. Regardless what we think of Batman and Superman, you liked it, right?
Yes, I enjoyed it. It's coming out on DVD on the 19th.
The next show we're going to have a review. I'll get to. I just brought this, believe it or not, just today. I haven't even opened it yet. I'm going to do a complete review on the radio show about Star Trek. The director's cut is basically everything that got released before. That I know because this has a half-hour extra feature, and they redid the colorization. But if you have the other two formats, the box set on the Blu-ray, and if you have the director's cut on the DVD, it's basically the same thing. They saw me coming. Yes, I'm a sucker, but that's besides the point. But Batman vs. Superman, I hated the first hour, and that's how they're going to fix it with the director's cut.
I thought the first hour was when was Batman mostly, and then the second hour is when they brought in Superman. Wasn't that the way it was?
Right.
Everybody was saying, "Oh, they love the Batman aspect of Batman v Superman."
Because a lot of the stuff was that's missing, and that doesn't make any sense. Is the Superman subplot, and that's all the stuff that got cut out. That's where you see they moved the vans. What I meant to say, they showed the flashback of what happened to Batman when he was a kid, but at least they did it as the opener of the movie. They took the flashback, put it right in the beginning of the movie, and they did it over the credits. I thought that was a great idea, kind of fresh up the story because it does mention Batman and Superman. Our mothers have the same name. Okay, that's part of the plot. Fine, no problem. There's an hour missing in the movie. We're gonna get an extra half hour, from the theatrical version. There's still another half hour missing. I think that's gonna be in deleted scenes. But that half hour is the subplot involving the subplot of Lex Luthor, how he's trying to set up Superman. So that's a half hour missing scenes in the beginning, and of course a lot of the scenes will kind of change around in editing and stuff like that. So hopefully we'll get a fuller, straighter first half of a movie being presented. One of us are going to buy it, so you're going to get a full review on the next show. Me, I love director's cut anyway. Even how many times they release it, there's always something missing. There's always something to be added. But that's us. A lot of people don't know we are both editors. That's how we met a couple years ago over here. He was editing right on our side in the studios over here, Final Cut Pro, and we started talking movies. We clicked, and now he's been my partner here hosting the show, which I'm really lucky and grateful for. And okay. What was it? Okay, let's hear back with the shades. Top 10. Let's wrap this up, and we're going to talk about Star Wars. That's why we got the poster up. Okay, real funny. Ghostbusters and Secret Life of Pets are battling out for the #1 box office this weekend. Looks like Secret Life of Pets is going to come out ahead. When Finding Dory and Independence Day came out on a Monday, the weekend after the book premiered, Finding Dory was making $10 million a day, and Independence Day was only making $2 million a day. Same thing what happened Secret Life of Pets. Premiere last weekend. On Monday, it made $10 million. Everything else was making less than $1 million, which means that this is one hell of a powerhouse. I haven't even got a chance to see it because I've been doing the acting and the music thing. Obviously, I haven't caught up to it. But it looks like Secret Life of Pets is gonna do Finding Dory business. It's doing huge. Okay, Legend of Tarzan is gonna hit 100 million, which is not too bad. Let's just fast forward. Central Intelligence actually is crossing over 115 million, which is surprisingly considering Neighbors, the other big comedy, the beginning of the summer only didn't even clear 50 million. The last two, BFG, hasn't even cleared 50 million. It's not going to do anything overseas. Independence Day, thanks to Worldwide, is going to clear 300 million. They wanted 600 million. We're not going to get a third part. Now, you didn't hear too much about Star Wars.
All I did was same thing everyone else. So we saw the trailers.
Okay, they had the big conference in London where they had everybody. I mean, you're a Star Wars fan. You saw it. We don't need to explain. And all the conferences, Mark Hamill came on and he talked about it as part of number 8. Of course, he tried to talk about. He was on the contract. He really couldn't say much. Okay. The big question is he going to be in number 9? Okay. Because supposedly he shaved his beard. I don't know. There's a bunch of rumors, and of course they're really trying to push Rogue One. My thing is about Star Wars. They're going to do is Disney's going to milk this to the point where we're going to have a movie every year, which is good if you're a Star Wars fan. That's great news. But is people going to get tired like the people got tired of X-Men
or Avengers?
Yeah. Okay. The Avengers was supposed to be in the top 10. It only hit number 12 for worldwide. So people getting tired of it, and what's going to happen with Suicide Squad? I think it's going to be the next big one. Next week, it's going to be Star Trek. When we come back on, we're going to have a review with Batman vs. Superman, Star Trek Beyond, and then we're looking forward to Suicide Squad. It's going to be the last big picture. What do you think?
Well, I see from what I see is on July 29th, there's Jason Bourne's coming out.
Number 4. Yeah.
So like I said, Suicide Squad, August 5th. You keep looking down. Pete's Dragon, I'm not sure. That's maybe for the kids. Maybe
for the kids.
They probably won't get interested. Mechanic on August 26th.
Nobody was asking for the Ben-Hur, don't forget.
Yeah. And
what are you doing? A remake of a classic. Ben-Hur won 12 Academy Awards. What are you doing a remake of that?
Well, then you have other things we're going to be here for September 23rd, the Magnificent 7.
The summer's basically over, yeah.
With Denzel Washington.
Right.
Yeah. As you keep going down the list, you have Doctor Strange, November the 4th.
I'll be on the plane.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
We're going to be doing the shows. December 21st, Assassin's Creed, and Beverly Hills Cop on December 31st. What do you think about that?
Another one nobody's asking for.
And I don't see Rogue One, so maybe...
Well, it is official. I mean,
it's official.
Well, what's the date? Let's get out of the way there. The date is December 16th. There you go.
Yeah, I don't see...
I still got problems with the poster. I mean, you had to pick this poster because this was the long poster. The other one, the vertical poster shows the Death Star. I mean, it looks good, but some troopers are on the beach vacationing. I don't know. I find that kind of weird. And they still can't shoot straight anyway. So, but anyway, folks.
We got 10 seconds.
Okay, thanks for tuning in. Thank you for celebrating 26 years. We'll be on in 2 weeks, and we'll see you then, everybody.
I'm Mark, he's Frank.
That's who we are. Thanks, everybody. Okay, take care. Well, that's it. I guess we can turn on the show.
That's the end of till next 2 weeks, and then after that's vacation.
Yeah, we have a show in the end of July. We looked at. We have 3 shows this month. This is the second show. We have 1 more show at the end of July, and that should do it.
I just happened to look up at the screen. I saw you both going like that, and then it just went to commercial.
Oh, great. Okay, good timing. Good timing. Okay.